Chainsaw Man hits different, man. One minute you're vibing, watching a girl teach Denji how to read. The next minute she's blowing up half the city like she hit Alter 4 on the entire cast list. But the Reze arc isn't just another fight. It isn't just another waifu war. It's the moment Chainsaw Man stops pretending to be a dark comedy and reveals what the story actually is. A tragedy about a boy who keeps trying to love in a world designed to hurt him. The tragedy of Reze, the turning point of Chainsaw Man. This is Lawhaven. I'm Nash and you are awesome. But you know what's not? Reze's tragedy. So let's dive right in. So, let's get this out of the way. Season 1 Chainsaw Man is chaos. Denji's eating bread like it's a buffet. Power's lying every 5 seconds. Aki's auditioning for a shampoo commercial. But, it's fun chaos. Nobody's ready for emotional damage just yet. Until Reze shows up. Because this arc isn't just a side story. It's the moment the anime stops saying, haha, funny Chainsaw Boy, and starts whispering, oh, this is actually about trauma, huh? And the Reze movie makes that painfully obvious. For the first time, Denji gets something he never had, a normal slice of life. And the movie even tells us this at the very beginning through his dates with Makima. So with Makima and later on with Reze, he got a girl flirting with him, a cafe date, laughing in the rain, no devils, no missions, no trauma, just being a teenage boy. Reze is the first character who treats Denji like a human, not a weapon or someone's pet. And that is exactly why this arc matters. It raises the stakes, not by adding stronger villains, but by showing Denji he actually has something to lose. His heart, his hope, his dream of a normal life. And that shift emotionally, psychologically, narratively, is what turns Chainsaw Man into a real tragedy. The philosophy of the Bomb Devil. Now, let's talk about Reze herself. Because this is where the series gets deeper than Denji's voice after drinking 12 Red Bulls. Reze isn't just a character. She's a metaphor, a literal symbol written into the story through her powers. Reze symbolizes weaponized love. The Bomb Devil doesn't just explode, she explodes when she gets close. The kiss that kills, the hug that destroys, the affection that ends with an explosion, radius of 20 meters. Reze's entire body is a scientific model of toxic intimacy. Her charm is real, but it's also her weapon. Her gentleness is real, but it's also her trap. Tatsuki Fujimoto is basically showing us that Reze embodies how love can be both genuine and dangerous. So apart from all the fiction and fantasy, here's the psychological part that the writer is trying to convey to us. Reze genuinely likes Denji. You can see it in her hesitation, her smile, the cafe talks. But she's also trained to kill him. Her childhood wasn't childhood, it was military conditioning. Love wasn't allowed. Freedom wasn't allowed. Psychologically, she is the walking contradiction of I want to love you, but I don't know how to not hurt you. The science analogy. Think of Reze like nuclear fission, stable enough to hold together, but once the reaction starts, boom! She's the human equivalent of an unstoppable isotope. Beautiful, warm, but deadly if handled incorrectly. Denji, on the other hand, is hydrogen. Simple, pure, and just trying to bond. But when you fuse hydrogen with a bomb, what do you get? Tragedy. Why Denji and Reze could never work. Now, let's answer the heartbreaking question. Why couldn't Denji and Reze ever be together? And the real answer hurts because they could have. Under different circumstances, of course. In another life, in a different world, but not in this one. 1. Denji wants love, but Reze wants freedom. Denji's entire life is a hunger for affection. He wants someone to see him, hold him, love him, anyone. Reze, on the other hand, wants freedom, peace, a chance to stop being a weapon. She sees that freedom reflected in Denji's simplicity. 2. They both like each other, but they're victims of different cages. Denji's cage is poverty and emotional starvation. Reze's cage is military indoctrination and violence. Two people who could complete each other, but both locked in trauma that neither of them chose. 3. The pool scene. The moment Reze lets her humanity slip through, everything changes during this pool scene. This is the first time we see Reze act in a way that doesn't feel like manipulation, doesn't feel like an act, doesn't feel like training or orders. It's simply just her, raw, unguarded, and genuinely having fun. She splashes Denji, she laughs, she swims around like a carefree teenager instead of a government weapon. She even teaches him how to float like a girl showing her crush something cute. And this is the moment the mask falls off. For a few minutes, Reze isn't the bomb devil. She isn't an assassin. She isn't a soldier. She's just a girl falling for a boy that she was supposed to kill. 4. And that's why the ending hurts so much. When Reze turns back toward the cafe door, that hesitation is the entire arc. Heart versus training, freedom versus duty, humanity versus weaponization. And in the end, the world wins. They don't lose because they didn't love each other. They lose because the world they live in doesn't allow love to survive. The final message. And that's why the Reze arc is the turning point of Chainsaw Man. Not because of bigger devils, not because of stronger fights, but because it shows that the real battle isn't against devils. It's against the world that refuses to let Denji be human. Reze wasn't his enemy. She wasn't his rival. And she certainly wasn't his villain. She was his almost, his what if, his glimpse of a life he'll never have. And that's why Chainsaw Man hurts. Because the story isn't about gaining happiness. It's about how fragile happiness is once you finally touch it. This was Lawhaven. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more heartbreak disguised as analysis. And remember, don't kiss girls who swim faster than marine animals. It's a red flag.